In the near future, a woman named Vanessa stands silently by the window of a stunning lake house, her eyes heavy with sorrow, haunted by something painful from her past. Suddenly, a loud thud jolts her from her thoughts. A bird smashes into the glass and drops lifeless to the ground. Startled, Vanessa rushes outside and finds the poor creature dead. Moments later, her husband Alex approaches and softly says that a dead bird is often a sign one chapter ending and another just beginning. Later, Vanessa quietly steps into their son's bedroom. The room remains frozen in time, untouched since his devastating accident. Both Vanessa and Alex are drowning in grief. They come to Alex's father's lake house to find some peace, joined by Alex's brother, Martel, in hopes of healing together. That afternoon, Vanessa suggests they go on a hike to clear their minds, but Alex quickly warns against it. He tells her he heard strange noises in the woods the night before. Martel adds to the tension, claiming a nearby facility was shut down after bizarre experiments were exposed. Even worse, he says people disappeared, but Alex brushes it all off. He laughs at Martel's story, saying the forest was just made into a preservation area. Then, with a scoff, he mocks Martel for clinging to conspiracy theories, blaming it on the wild ideas of their physicist father, who mysteriously vanished years ago. Martel snaps back, insisting their father went missing while chasing something real, something important. Later, determined to get some space, Vanessa grabs a rifle from Alex, who warns her to be careful of bears. But she's firm, she needs time alone to clear her head. Next, Vanessa climbs into a small boat and rows across the lake, drifting for miles until she reaches a quiet, lonely shore. The silence is calming. She finds a peaceful spot, sits down, and tries to clear her restless mind. But suddenly, something catches her attention: birds flying in a frantic pattern toward a specific area. Alarmed, she grabs her rifle and cautiously follows the sound echoing through the trees. Out of nowhere, bang! A gunshot slices through the air, missing her by inches and slamming into a nearby tree. Heart pounding, Vanessa freezes, fires back. Her shot lands and she hears someone cry out in pain. She carefully approaches the wounded figure and gasps in horror. She's staring at herself. The other woman has the exact same clothes, same rifle. The same face. Before she can even process it, the other Vanessa bolts, limping into the trees and disappearing from sight. Shaken to her core, Vanessa rushes back to the lake house in a daze. As she storms inside, Alex and Martel are already looking for her, worried sick. Vanessa blurts out that she saw a bear, trying to cover up the terrifying truth, but Alex doesn't buy it. He follows her to the bedroom, watching her closely. He quietly tells her she looks exactly like she did the day their son died. Alex begs her to let go of the pain, but Vanessa can't. She breaks down, saying it was her fault. But Alex reminds her she never saw the other car coming. Their son died in a tragic accident, not because of her. Later, Alex opens up to Martel. I feel like I'm losing her too, he admits. Martel gently reminds him it's only been a year. Grief doesn't vanish overnight. That night, Vanessa stumbles upon some old papers filled with strange equations left behind by Alex's father. But instead of reading them, she pushes them aside and heads to dinner, where she joins Alex and Martel, pretending everything is normal. For now, during dinner, while helping to clean up, Martel accidentally burns his hand on a hot pan, yelling out in pain. A short while later, Vanessa walks into the kitchen and is stunned to see Martel casually pouring himself a glass of wine. Confused, she says, "Didn't you quit drinking years ago?" Then she notices something even stranger. His burned hand doesn't have a fresh wound at all. Instead, it shows only an old scar. Martel simply shrugs it off and walks out through the kitchen door, saying he's going for a walk. But moments after he disappears, another Martel walks into the kitchen, this one visibly in pain, wrapping his freshly burned hand. Vanessa stares, frozen in disbelief. Her heart sinks. The Martel who left earlier wasn't their Martel. Shaken to the core, she rushes to the bedroom, her mind spinning with fear and confusion. That night, sleep evades her completely. The eerie things she saw in the woods and now in her own home won't let her rest. Something is terribly wrong. Grabbing her rifle, Vanessa sneaks out and heads back into the dark, whispering forest, determined to uncover the truth. She reaches the forest's gated entrance and gasps. A bloody handprint stains the metal. With a deep breath, she pushes through and keeps going. Eventually, she comes across an ancient-looking tree with a hollowed-out opening. She steps through it and walks deeper into the woods, leaves crunching under her boots. But suddenly, she's back at the same tree. What? To stay oriented, she ties her scarf around the trunk and starts carving markings along her path with a knife. But somehow, when she circles back, everything is gone. Her scarf, the knife marks ... all vanished. Now completely disoriented, Vanessa stumbles through the endless woods. Exhausted and afraid, she finally collapses under the tree. Eventually, she spots the gate again and pushes her way out. But something's different. There's no blood on this gate. She doesn't notice, but this isn't the gate she entered through. Vanessa finally makes her way back to the house and rushes to tell Alex what happened. She insists something is seriously wrong with that forest. Alex listens calmly, then gently tells her she must have been wandering in circles. Vanessa, trembling, reveals she saw herself in the woods the other day. But instead of being shocked, Alex frowns. "You've been having those wild dreams again," he reminds her. Then he drops a bombshell. It's their son's death anniversary and he's already called their doctor to come help her. Overwhelmed with grief and anger, Vanessa slaps Alex when he keeps saying their son's name. Her heart is breaking all over again. Then, out of nowhere, Alex says something that stuns her. He tells Vanessa it's time to move on. Because he has already apologized over and over for causing their son's death, Vanessa's eyes widen in shock. "What are you talking about?" she argues. She was the one driving that day, not him, but Alex suddenly grows angry. His face tightens and he demands she call the doctor right now. "You need help!" he shouts. Just then, Martel walks in with his hand bandaged. But Vanessa freezes this time. It's the other hand that's injured. Her stomach drops. Something is horribly wrong. This isn't her, Alex. This isn't her, Martel. This isn't her world. Panic surges through her as she bolts out of the house. Alex tries to catch her, but Martel calmly tells him, "She just needs space." Vanessa doesn't stop. She races back into the forest and heads straight for the tree. Her scarf is still missing. She passes through the hollow trunk and hears footsteps behind her. She spins around and points her rifle, but it's another Alex. He raises his hand slowly and speaks gently. "I'm Alex ... but from a different time and space," he says. "Please lower the gun. I know what you're going through and I want to help." After a tense pause, Vanessa follows him. Together, they build a small camp near the tree. This version of Alex begins to explain. "Every version of us is a little different," he says. "We're stuck in a multiverse loop, where worlds overlap briefly before splitting apart again." He reveals he is a physicist and warns that two versions of the same person can't exist in one world for long. Then he asks about himself and her world. Vanessa smiles sadly and tells him her Alex was kind, patient, and a loving father who put his family first. Unlike this version of Alex, who chased ambition and became a professor. In return, Alex shares his story. His Vanessa was shattered after their son's death. She couldn't cope and eventually divorced him. Before disappearing entirely, she said she'd seen herself in the forest. Since then, he's crossed world after world, desperately trying to find her, but only pieces of who she used to be remain. When Vanessa asks if there's a world where their son might still be alive, Alex lowers his head. With pain in his voice, he admits, "I've searched every reality I could, and in all of them, our son is gone." But Vanessa refuses to accept that. She tells him maybe he hasn't searched enough. That's when Alex shares his wild theory. He has been testing a method using fishing, wire tying one end in their world and dragging the other into the forest. The wire could act as a breadcrumb trail, helping them find their way back to their original world without getting lost in the maze of overlapping realities. Alex believes his fishing wire plan might finally lead them back to their original reality, but there's a catch. It's never been tested and he can't do it alone. He needs someone else to help guide the line from the other side. So together they cross into another reality, this time searching for fishing rods. But what they find is heartbreaking. In this world, they come across a devastated Martel sobbing uncontrollably, weighed down by guilt. This version of Martel believes he caused the deaths of his Alex and a pregnant Vanessa. When he sees them standing there, he thinks he's losing his mind. Please, just go, he begs them. His eyes are filled with pain. Alex and Vanessa quietly step away, shaken by what they've witnessed. As they walk, they wonder how many more versions of themselves are trapped in these strange, overlapping worlds. How many more tragedies? Later, they meet back at the mysterious tree. There, Alex teaches Vanessa a secret code to confirm their identities if they get separated. If you ever think it's me, he says, say room 1111. And if it's really you, she asks. I'll answer, bed 8. He then opens up about his first trip through the tree. He found himself inside a house, watching two versions of Martel locked in a brutal fight. One of them stormed out, yelling that their father had been right all along, the multiverse was real. Alex tried to follow, but both Martels vanished into the forest. Later that evening, as they sit by the fire, the tension gives way to something softer. Despite knowing they aren't each other's original versions, Alex and Vanessa share a passionate kiss. Alex gets ready to cross into the next reality, but he asks Vanessa to wait. He needs to return to the exact same world he left, or they'll risk getting lost forever. By morning, Alex reappears and they exchange the code. Vanessa breathes a sigh of relief. It's him. He tells her that the last world he visited wasn't hers or his. That Vanessa fainted when she saw him, and Martel said he wouldn't follow. So Alex heads out again, this time more hopeful. Maybe this next reality will finally be the one. But as time drags on, Vanessa grows anxious. Alex doesn't return. That night, the fishing line begins to twitch. Someone is coming, she whispers the code, but there's no answer. Fear grips her chest. Something isn't right. Grabbing her rifle, Vanessa decides to follow the wire into the unknown reality alone. Vanessa steps into the house of this new reality and finds Alex asleep in the kitchen, slouched over the table like he's been waiting for something or someone. She quietly whispers the code, room 1111. But his confused eyes snap open. He doesn't recognize it. Shocked, Alex tells her, "We've been looking for you everywhere." Vanessa quickly asks, "Where's Martel?" He replies, "In the storage shed." Vanessa needs to be sure. She leans in and asks carefully which of Martel's hands is burned. When Alex answers correctly, tears flood her eyes. She throws her arms around him. This is her Alex. She's back in her real world. Overflowing with relief, she begins talking rapidly about space, time, the multiverse, even the hope of finding their son. But just then, Martel enters the room. Vanessa turns toward him in CRA. Alex smashes a bottle over her head, knocking her out cold. She wakes up tied to a chair inside the shed. Her head throbs, her hands bound. Across from her, Alex glares with rage in his eyes. "You're not my Vanessa," he growls. "And I'm going to kill you." Martel rushes in and steps between them. "Wait, just listen to her first." Reluctantly, Alex unties her but keeps the gun trained on her. He reveals a horrifying truth. His Vanessa came home one day with a bullet wound in her leg, rambling about saving the world by killing another woman. Certain she had gone mad, he killed her. Vanessa's face turns pale. Trembling, she whispers, "I'm sorry. That was me. I didn't know it was your Vanessa I shot. I thought she was another version of me." She explains everything, the forest, the tree, the loop, and how their father was right all along about the multiverse. Martel listens closely. Something about her story feels real. He begins to believe her, but Alex explodes with fury. "Liar, you're not her!" he shouts, pointing the gun directly at her. Martel throws himself in front of Vanessa, shouting, "Stop!" The two brothers clash violently, punches flying, rage boiling over. Bang! A gunshot tears through the room. Alex collapses, dead. Shaking with grief, Martel lowers the weapon. With tears in his eyes, he tells Vanessa, "You don't belong here. You have to go." He turns the gun on himself and pulls the trigger, ending his pain. Devastated, Vanessa stumbles away and escapes to the previous world. That night, she curls up in silence, too broken to cry. By morning, the divorced Alex finally returns. She whispers the code. He responds with the correct phrase, "It's really him." Vanessa demands to know where he's been. He explains that the Alex and Martel from this world panicked when they saw her. He gave them space, but when he returned, both were dead. Vanessa's heart sinks. That last reality, the one where she found her Alex, was her real home. And now, everyone she loved is gone. Alex then tells her he has found his true reality and he is planning to destroy the gate to stop this never-ending nightmare once and for all. But then, Vanessa spots something chilling, a ring on Alex's hand. Her eyes narrow. That's not his ring, it belongs to another version of Alex. She stares at him. What did you do? Alex doesn't even flinch. Calmly, he confesses he killed his alternate self and plans to take over that man's life. He even tells Vanessa that she should consider doing the same if she ever stumbles into a world where she finally fits in. Vanessa recoils. You can't just steal someone's life, she snaps. But Alex stands firm. Even if you find a reality where your son is alive, they won't accept you. You'll always be the outsider. Before leaving, he hands her a gun. His voice turns cold. One day you'll have to make a hard choice, just like I did. Choose wisely. Vanessa watches in horror as Alex drags the body of the Alex he murdered and lays it at the base of the tree gate like a grim trophy. You've got 45 minutes, he warns. After that, I'm blowing it all up. No more crossing. Vanessa hurries into the woods, heart pounding. She stops to rest, but before she can catch her breath, a gun clicks behind her head. She turns slowly and finds herself another Vanessa, shaking, terrified, and holding a rifle straight at her. Vanessa speaks calmly, gently. She quickly realizes this frightened version of herself belongs to the same world as the divorced Alex, the man who helped her earlier. Go back to him, Vanessa pleads. There's still time. He's waiting for you. But this other Vanessa shakes her head. Her voice cracks. No, I'm leaving too, just like he did. I want a new life. Somewhere. Their tension boils over two versions of the same woman locked in desperation. Words turn to shouts. Shouts turn to violence. They fight. It's brutal. The original Vanessa finally overpowers her double, knocking her out cold with a heavy stone. Breathing heavily, covered in scratches, she stumbles into the next reality. There, she finds a house, familiar ... yet different. Exhausted and numb, she takes a long shower and crawls into bed. Morning comes. A soft thud startles her. A bird has hit the window just like before. She rushes over and sees it lying on the ground ... The same bird from her original reality. Then footsteps. Alex enters the room. His face is full of warmth and peace. He smiles at her, leans in, and kisses her softly. Come on, he says. Let's eat. He prepares breakfast, and soon Martel joins them, radiating joy like she's never seen before. Vanessa watches them, stunned. They're not just alive, they're happy. Martel chuckles and asks, Where have you been? Vanessa's still out there somewhere in the woods. Her eyes widen, but she stays quiet. After breakfast, Vanessa tiptoes to her son's bedroom. She slowly opens the door. Tiny shoes sit neatly by the wall, clothes folded on the bed. And then a small voice calls out, Mommy? Vanessa gasps. Tears fill her eyes. Her heart nearly stops. Her son is alive. The end.